As human beings, I'm sure we all have this yearning for more growth, more abundance, more authenticity, right? I know that I do. And as it is the case with life, the only constant in life is change. And you see, that which is not in change, that which is not moving, growing, evolving, is by definition stagnant. And stagnancy is equivalent to death, decay, destruction, and chaos. And so if we don't manage our life, if we are not willing to evolve with life, then we're in the death process, we're in the dissolution process of succumbing to our lowest common denominator, which is the limitation of the mind, always fixating on its own perceived self-conception, which is typically contrived in our circumstantial past, really. So, as is often the case, we grow up in various environments with people, places, things, and these circumstances that really shape our own self-identity. And this core identity, this locking mechanism in which we find ourselves, which we find a sense of comfort in because it is known, that really is a sort of prison in many ways. And the way of changing ourselves beyond the prison bars is to reinvent ourselves. And that is done by one of two means. One is to realize that we were never prisoners of our circumstances through the realization of our own nature as awareness. And the other is to change, is to see through change, through confirmation in ourselves that we were never who we took ourselves to be. And what I've come across in my own life many times is that I may have a very clear vision of where I want to be. I may know exactly what this represents for me, where I want to be circumstantially, who I want to see myself as, who I want to be surrounded with, very clear. And I don't always, well, very rarely see that reflected in my my outer circumstances, and also admittedly in my inner circumstances. And so, although we know where we yearn to be, where we belong in truth, at our soul blueprint, in order to get there, in linear fashion, we sometimes have to succumb to this apparently 3D world where our identity at this current time may not be a complete match to the identity of where we see ourselves in the future and where we're inevitably headed. And so in this video I want to offer a very small but an insightful clue as to how we can go about changing in a very practical manner, really, because when I was a child, I was out sailing quite a lot with my father because he had two boats, and so I would often get the opportunity to sail this boat, right? And I was managing this steering stick, and I found it quite funny that even the tiniest incremental change, just 1 degree of change, would cause the boat to sail in a completely different direction from where I actually intended. And so I had to be very vigilant in steering the boat to always stay on track, right? I had to be very aware and to always be mindful in how I conducted myself in steering this boat, as we have to do also in life, in our own life. It is quite funny in that way that although we have this vision, this clarity of wanting to be somewhere else, and that may be felt very strongly with great conviction, that we want to make this 180 in life. We want to be somewhere else completely differently from where we find ourselves currently. And although it is possible to completely flip the script and to just shift your life from one moment to the next, that is completely within the possibilities of this realm. That oftentimes defies the identity that we hold on to. And as a result, we may need to implement this 1 degree of change every single day. Excuse me. Because, by changing just 1 degree, that means that in 180 days, you will have made a 180 in life. Right? And so we don't need to see this grand transformation appear overnight. No. We need to know what the next step is. And we need to take that step and to monitor how we're doing day by day, so that we can continue to incrementally move forward and to be in this momentum, this flow with life. And before we know it, when we look back upon ourselves in the past, we see that, wow, so much has happened that we don't even recognize ourselves anymore. And how wondrous is that to behold? That when our behaviors, our thoughts and feelings begin to change day by day, little by little, that the identity, the idea of who we thought we were, is no longer who we consider ourselves to be. That the whole core identity has changed. And that's observation itself, that observation of transformation, to know that you made that shift, to know that that gap was closed just by way of you making the decision every day to show up for change. It means that you have the power to completely shift who you consider yourself to be. And that confirmation is really something that will drive deep into your psyche, that confirmation from life itself that you can show up any way that you imagine yourself to show up today. That is a gift of freedom. That is autonomy. That is free will, isn't it? It is the freedom to be with life and show up in any way that you so desire. And one way to really make this playful is to consider life a game. Is to see yourself, this identity construct, this persona that we take ourselves to be, to see it as a character in a game. And that really, when we're taking on these missions in this game, that might be to meditate every day, to boost your meditation skill, to boost your breathwork skill, to boost your communication skill, to boost your relationship skill. All these skills that we build upon, that we improve upon every day, that we're really just leveling up in ourselves. And that although you may consider yourself a complete beginner in this life, which really in and of itself is also a gift, because that also contains a great freedom to acknowledge that, yeah, I'm just brand new to this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm willing to learn, to explore, to grow, and to be immersed in this life. But to evolve, to level up, so to speak, and to not be so invested in the character, because you know that you are not the character itself. You're able to leave it whenever, to feel the vastness, the freedom that is already available, but to simultaneously engage with this game character and to tend to it with great care, with great love and responsibility, and to tend to the skills necessary to lead the life that you envision for this game that we're all playing here together. So I urge you, just as I do myself, really, honestly, earnestly, to show up for this game of life, and to really be fully immersed, and to take care of this precious gift that we're all given, and to recognize that, yeah, you won't reach level 100 tomorrow morning, but it's great that you see yourself reaching that point. Keep it in your heart, keep it in your mind, because you know that it is your destiny, and it will be upon you sooner rather than later, as long as you show up incrementally and make the change today, as well as tomorrow, as well as next year, and before we realize, we look back at our lives and we can be so proud of ourselves that we made it. Make yourself proud. Show up today. Commit yourself to taking just one step, to changing just 1 degree, and to witness your life unfolding accordingly. I'm so grateful to be able to share, and even more so, I am grateful to share with you that I've launched a spiritual life coaching program, which you will find the link to in the description of this video. So I urge you, if you trust me, if you want to work with me, and if you think that you and I will be a great match and fit for one another, to check out the link, book a call with me, and we can arrange transformation in your life as well as mine together. I would love to work alongside with you. And with that, I wish you all the absolute best. Take care. Make the change today, not tomorrow, today.